All right, welcome to the Frog News Network. Welcome, Frogonites. Where are you guys calling in tonight? We got really exciting guests tonight. I can't wait to get him on here. Where are y'all calling in from? Greenville, North Carolina. You're live. Welcome to the show. It's showtime. Talk to us. I'm ready too. We're going to learn about how we can fight back and the things we can do tonight. You really are. Come on, where y'all calling in from? Where y'all watching us from? Texas. Welcome to the show. Hello from Broken Arrow, Arkansas. Becky, welcome to the show. Don't forget to go to thefrognewsnetwork.com and sign up for the newsletter. It's getting ready to come out, I think, Wednesday, our first newsletter. Missouri here. Welcome to the show. You're live with Doug. Welcome, Timothy. Massachusetts, welcome to the show. Arkansas, Ohio, welcome to the show. Missouri, welcome to the show. I just got you. Tennessee, welcome to the show. Iowa, Ohio, welcome to the show. Maryland, California, Laura, welcome to the show. From PA, welcome to the show. You're next up on the, I guess, on overturning the election. I don't know. Alabama, Canada in the house. Massachusetts in the house. South Texas in the house. Welcome to the show, guys. Big show tonight. Share this out and like it, please. London, Canada. That one always confuses me because both of y'all are in deep trouble, Canada and London. But that's a great one. Thanks for being a Frogonite. South Texas, welcome to the show. Nashville, North Carolina, welcome to the show where we give you the real news, not made up stuff. God bless you, California. Thank you so much. There you go, right there, folks. Texas in the house, welcome to the show. Killian, Texas, I've been there before, man. It's right near the base over there. Arizona, welcome to the show. You're live with Doug. Do a couple more and we're going to get to it, guys. Indiana in the house. North Carolina, welcome to the show. Live from Canada. Hi from Maine. I know sometimes we get people from Vietnam. We get people all over the world. Hello, Ohio. How are you guys tonight? Just a few more. Michigan in the house. Texas in the house. Indiana. Sacramento. One more thing, guys. Liberty Water, LibertyWaterUSA.com. Frog is your 5% off. You get a pocket Constitution with every case of water. It's a patriot company. Please support them, okay? And it's some darn good water, I got to tell you. So let's get this thing kicked off here.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering its amazing life-enhancing technology to people across the world, always helping the body do what it was designed to do, only better. And as it turns out, the best was yet to come. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
All right, we're back. Check this out. I'm going to introduce in just a minute our guest tonight, John Demelli. And I met this gentleman down in Florida, and I was so impressed. I did not get to hear him speak down there, but I was impressed because I was around him all weekend with Bonafide. And then in Spartansburg, I was holding the camera for him. And many of you may be seen, I was the one screaming behind the camera. He had me so worked up. And it's been a pleasure to know him. Pleasure to hear him speak. He's a writer, an author, I should say, and written many, many books. He's done many, many different things. I'm not good at reading bios, but I will tell you this, you're going to be pumped up when you hear this man come on the show. So let me bring him on right now. John, welcome to the show, sir.
I am excited to be here, young man, tonight, and we got the sword out, baby.
Yeah, we know all about the sword. Now
we'll bring that up.
Because if 1 and 1's 11, and you always tell the story, and you could tell it to our listeners now, the story about the sword, or wherever you want to start at.
Sure. Now, I'll bring it up throughout tonight's message, but I want to thank you, Doug, for having me as a guest and, promoting conservative values, promoting keeping America great. And, your message is, FROG, which I love when I first met you. And you said, hey, John, FROG stands for forever relying on God. Yes. Pressing into God's strength, pressing into the foundation of faith and family, and pressing in and rising up the remnant and getting rid of all the weak roots, pruning the weakness to strengthen the roots. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to discuss America, conservative values. And I appreciate you. And you're a great cameraman. I like you, very interactive, and you're holding a camera in
I was singing right along with your song. I didn't even realize I was doing it. It made it, I don't know, it kind of made it, at first I was embarrassed, and I was just excited because you were speaking, and then I was singing along to what's his name's song when you started out.
Sure.
And you had the crowd wound
right here. I always play this, and this is the song. It's powerful. So when when I play this and we let it play, the Holy Spirit, God comes in, and we had a Vietnam vet there that his wife told me afterwards. It was before everyone else stood up. He said, "Grab me. I want to stand up for the flag." And that's one thing we do is we stand for the flag. We stand for America. We stay strong, and there's no question. And all of you listening tonight to this, either live or doing a replay. Every time I present, Doug, and I've been blessed to speak all around the country, and obviously I have my own podcast show. I'm going to have you on my show. I have General Flynn on coming up next 24 hours. Is that, we, all of us, make up an army. And if someone listening tonight or through the replay say, you know what, I've been sitting in the sideline, I've been letting fear, doubt, insecurity, weakness of relationships, or being afraid to stand up, to really make a difference. So I could really be the voice of America that I need to be. And that's what we the people are about. We the people are the people that are speaking the truth.
I would say absolutely, because as you were speaking at General Flynn, and that's where, he said we have to start attending these city hall meetings. We have to start attending the school board meetings, the state senate meetings. We have to know who gets up the party in this town. Who are the rhinos in this town that we need to go after? We've looked the other way for too long, and people it just turned their whole back on our country. It seems like it's time, if you're a patriot, to get out here and start doing things. It doesn't matter what it is, but we need to start doing things to get our country back.
And that's why, Doug, and we talk about the word conservative, and I'm blessed to say we founded the Conservative Business Journal. When you did the the great promo for tonight's show, and one of the chapters in my book is about why we started the Conservative Business Journal. And I want everybody, every time I'm interviewed or I share a message, I always say, grab a pen that writes and take notes. I want you guys to learn tonight. I want you to activate the mind God gives you and learn. We get so distracted. We have so many. We have the enemy of focus right now. We have so many people, so many things distracting us. And the word conservative, and I want you guys to really realize this, is inside the word conservative is the word conserve, and conserve means to protect something from harm or destruction and to guard from corruption, which means our country, our Constitution, our rights, Second Amendment, freedom of speech, traditional marriage, the ability to praise our God without a mask on, openly worship God, sing songs to Jehovah Jireh, and worship our country, love law enforcement, empower local law enforcement, pump up our military, promote our military, promote educating our kids on American history, shutting out the 1619 Project. That's everything I just stated is what they're after. So we have to protect that from corruption. So as a conservative, we are to do that. That's why there's many rhinos. That's why so many Republicans will veer a little bit based on where the money's coming from in the PACs and not stay strong on the whole process of conserving. And I know that your audience always wants those intel drops. Like give me a drop of intelligence. Give me something. Intelligence means it makes you a wiser person. Well, let me give you the two most important intelligent drops, and we discussed this on a call yesterday when we were chatting, Doug. This is the most intelligent thing you guys can always remember: is this, the Constitution of the United States of America. This is the intelligence. And the Pledge of Allegiance. You stand for the flag. If you're an Olympic athlete and you turn your back for the flag, get out of the Olympics, go home, go to Cuba right now and let someone get persecuted in Cuba to replace your spot in America. All of you that don't stand for the flag, go to Cuba.
You don't want to go there. Trust me.
That's right. I mean, that's massive, massive persecution going on right now. Massive tyranny, communism. And we all know that Obama was there with Castro doing the wave at a baseball game. I mean, brutal. I called it out. Let me give you an intelligent drop tonight. The administration right now is being ran by China and being ran by Russia. That's what's going on. I mean, we can go real deep tonight, but we as conservatives, all of you listening, there's tens of thousands of you that will listen between the live show and a replay, is if all of you just make a decision today to say, what can I do to conserve and protect my family? What am I doing right now? Cookie, that's awesome. I love Cookie. What Cookie said, right, Doug? Pledge of Allegiance. And a pledge means, when I had an opportunity of speaking in Greenville, South Carolina, and General Flynn was actually in the front table, I was very honored to present a presentation in front of the general. And General Flynn said to me, he says, John, keep your message strong. It needs to be heard. And, the word pledge means an undeniable, irrevocable commitment to be or do something long-term, a pledge of allegiance. You are pledging an allegiance to the United States of America. You have a commitment to a pledge to, no matter where you go. If you want a show, if you're in a local neighborhood going grocery shopping, no matter where you go, your pledge of allegiance has to come out. Thank you, Kathy. Love the tie, right? The tie is awesome.
You're absolutely right. And to pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the Republic, Republic for which it stands.
That's right.
I think that's very important, too, that we know that we're going to be the Republic of the United States, not the incorporated United States. But that's a whole nother story.
That's right. Doug, and what we were saying, there's three things under attack right in America: is faith, family, and freedom. They're after our faith. Because you're from New York, right, Doug? Right now, you're from New York, but where do you live now?
I live in Democratic Virginia. That's right. In Hampton Roads, Virginia, Newport News, and it's they want it to be Democratic, but I'm convinced in my heart that 45 was winning until 11:15 at night, and then somehow they dropped 750,000 ballots in Fredericksburg, which is 99% Democratic. I don't know how these things happen. I just know it happened. I really can't say much more about it, but I thought he was going to win the state.
45 won. There's no question about it. And 45 will, and that's all. Good. Say it again, Doug.
Won in a landslide. I
Oh,
believe it's close to 100 million voted for him.
a landslide, and that's the reason why
we want. That's the people we need to take action. What are you gonna do today? Today, not tomorrow. Write down what you're fixing to do, as Bonafide would say. Tomorrow, what are you fixing to do tomorrow to help us get this country back? And it doesn't matter what it is, but put some effort towards getting it done.
And even for everyone listening too, when you're out and about during your normal day, people look at you and they have to say, what does this person represent? They respect law and order. They're respecting the local police. They're respecting the military. My wife and I, many years ago, every time we see law enforcement eating, we always pay for their food, and we're like, don't tell them, do not let them know. We want to, because it's because of them we're free. The enforcement of law. And for those of you of Judeo-Christian values, God despises lawlessness. He despises when there's no law. Thank you with the awesome. I'm kind of known for my tie. Every time you saw me, Doug, I had a tie on, right?
That everywhere you go, you get complimented on your tie.
I mean, I love this country. I love the United States of America.
It was on my other shirt.
There you go.
Wear the other one. I have the cross. John blessed me with one of the crosses he's wearing at Spartansburg. And I got a couple of his books he signed. I'm currently getting ready to get into the books, but I just want to thank you again for the cross. It's on my other shirt, and I decided at the last minute this color hat went with this. I was trying to put my Winnie the Pooh collection on blue and blue. But thank you again for the cross. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's why all of us guys listening, I love the flag. I love the United States of America. I love every single man and woman who fought for our freedom. And every day we ought to represent this country. And that intelligent drop is be proud of the Constitution, be proud of the flag, be proud of our traditional conservative values. And don't be intimidated by the radical left. Remember, they're not Democrats, they're communists.
Absolutely.
And communists are anti-God, anti-capitalism, anti-success, anti-joy. They are basically everything that the Bible says we ought to be as the fruits of the Spirit. They're against, and that's why as we get into the world famous sword here shortly, is that we as conservatives, there's a value system. Right now there's an operating system. When you sent me the link to get onto your awesome show tonight, and I'm excited to be on a Frog News Network. There's a system. This computer's operating on. We're at a studio. I left my house. I turned off my computer there, and I came here and I booted up the system in our studio. So I have to ask all of you a question tonight in your life. What's your operating system? Like, what do you operate on? Are you putting God first, family, God, family, and then obviously your community, your life, but protect the traditional values, the system. Like right here it says, my value system of faith, family, and freedom. That should be the whole breath into the life of who you are. Right. Like when people see you conserving, and that's when you're gonna somebody tonight's gonna have to remove relationships, get away from people, because God's looking at you. Can I trust this person? Can I move forward? I always say there's gonna be haters all the time, Doug. Believe me, I get haters all day long. But I always tell them the haters have nothing else to do. That's why they're watching you. So.
I went through a transition, as you know, and the hate's kind of calmed down because people want the truth. They want something they can actually do besides hopes and dreams. And there's nothing wrong with hopes and dreams, but you better be getting ready for what's about to happen, and you better have a plan. What is your plan? I mean, you can't build a house without a plan, right? You got to have,
right.
And your plan ought to be exactly what you said. Keep God first.
And that's why when you rely on that, faith is a foundation. When you have faith as a foundation, and you move forward, and you have to look at your family. I want to challenge all of you, and you heard me say this at all the events I speak at. You've seen me speak a couple times now, Doug, and I talk about what's your driving force, what's your motive, what's your why? Why are you going to protect and conserve and guard from corruption? I talk about this all the time. We have 3 awesome nieces, and I usually show the pictures on my show or when I'm speaking. Thank you, Valerie says, we love you, Doug and John, patrons from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's, I was just up there in Gettysburg just last month speaking.
He was. John's a keynote speaker everywhere he goes. If you don't know, he's
appreciate that.
I mean, awesome.
Thank you.
If you haven't seen the video when I was in Spartansburg, I'm the guy making all the noise in the background.
You're in the background like this. Hold on, right, Christy? Doug is awesome. and and I can tell you, my favorite part of presenting nationwide at so many events, Doug, is the conversations after the event. Everybody says, John, you inspired me, you encouraged me to finally make that decision to step out and to be who I know I am. And that's why, as I was saying, for all of you, look at your family. Look at your why, your motive, what's driving you. We have 3 awesome nieces from Tennessee, Millie, Lexi, and Allie, and I showed the pictures, and they're 3 beautiful young ladies, and one's very good in gymnastics, and she has all the medals, and she's won this competition, that competition. And I always say, if she's at a meet and some guy identifies that day as a girl, puts a wig on, and goes in the bathroom, he ain't coming out alive. It's just a fact.
That's a New York thing.
Because look,
it
ain't right. I mean, you talk about common sense. Like, look, common sense means we have to protect our values. What happens is because people go, that's just their thing, I'll turn the other cheek. Well, that's how communism happens. That's how de Blasio was destroyed New York. That's how Cuomo is now potentially how many sexual assaults and tons of them. And he's going to run for governor again. And look at Virginia. I mean, look at the governor of Virginia where you're in. I mean, you got to realize, that's why people go, how does it happen? Because we as conservatives have to protect something from corruption. Let that sink in. So you have to stand for traditional values, stand for your family. And like my grandparents, I mean, you've seen this. I show this all the time. This is their original immigration papers. They came from Italy in 1913. Right. 9 of them with $160 between all of them, an average of $25 each. They came to America 2 weeks on a boat from Italy to New York. 2 weeks in a boat, $25 in a pocket, focus, and they pledged an allegiance to this country to provide and add value. They're legal immigrants, and they ended up taking residence in 116th Street in West Harlem. And that's what all of you have to realize. Go back to your family heritage and ask yourself a question. Am I standing strong enough to conserve those values, or am I letting the communist left affect my family, affect my future? And have pictures around you. Have pictures of your family, of your grandkids. Those of you that have grandkids, look at the education process. You got to realize now the next thing went from 1619 project to the critical waste theory. Excuse me, the critical race theory.
Yes.
The CRT. It's brutal. I mean, they're teaching kids to hate America and be racist, and then the school unions are intimidating teachers that have the right heart to say, hey, if you don't teach that, we're going to sue you. That's brutal.
Yeah, the whole system needs to be reset. And I believe it's true that unless we get these unions out of there, I don't see how things can change. That's the whole problem. And as we were discussing, we can change the country. We can change a lot of things, but until we get back to our Christian values, we haven't changed anything, John.
And remember, and a Christian value is a warrior. And I just popped on to see some of the comments. You guys are awesome. I see someone in Tennessee. God bless your family, John. My dad's side came from Ireland to America in 1830. It's awesome. I mean, well, when you guys look at that, that's the foundation. So that's how we get the remnant. Now, Christian godly values, the entire Old Testament is a war book, Doug.
Yeah.
And God always uses warriors who nobody ever looked at to be the warrior. You see, Doug? Everyone let that sink in.
I never thought I'd be put in the position I'm in today. I never thought so, but I accept it willingly and pray every day that God leads me in the right direction to get this message out, because he's getting his army together right now. Like you said when you spoke, God is getting his people in line right now to fight this war. And
that's why, like, when you see, like, obviously my news network is the CBJ Real News. CBJ stands for Conservative Business Journal Real News. And I've been banned and censored just about everywhere. And I'll behave myself tonight, so you'll be fine. I've been banned and censored, and thank God for Telegram. I'm now on Telegram, developing Telegram, because I've been censored and banned because I speak. I don't curse, swear. I speak the truth, and they don't. And weak, coward people don't want to hear the truth. You see, Goliath was in the valley for 40 days, Doug, taunting everybody, and then David, a little shepherd guy in the back, said, "You know what?" He heard this and said, "You know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough."
Yes, Mark.
And he said, "You know what, Goliath, who do you think you are? Like Chris Cuomo, CNN, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris. Come on, who do you think you are?" So David, a little shepherd boy, and nobody, he was in the back in the field. He came out to Goliath and said 3 words: enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took the rock, knocked him out, killed him. But Doug, then he took a sword, cut his neck off, brought the giant back to the other camp. Said, "Look, I'm trying to tend to my sheep. I'm trying to work out here. I'm into capitalism. I got a talent. Leave me alone. Let me just provide for our field here." And a lot of people right now are in the enough is enough zone, and that's why it is so important. Thank you, Stephanie. Warriors, John and Doug are awesome. I appreciate that. And I want all of you tonight to realize, and this when we get into the Gideon sword, because some of you are like, "Well, I'm not a fighter." Everybody in the Bible, really, the only person that really hit someone was David, from David and Goliath. Because the Gideon story, you talk about a revelation, you talk about things as conservatives, and the most corrupt scenario we have right now in America, Doug, is the judicial system. The judges are the most corrupt right now.
Yes, I would agree 100%.
And inside the book of Judges in the Bible, and that's why my wife gave me, when we first got married, she gave me a warrior Bible. It's a camouflage Bible. I keep the flag in it.
I love it.
And in the Old Testament, in the book of Judges, there's a story about Gideon. I want everyone to pay attention here, because Gideon, God said, "Look, there's 135,000 people that want to kill us, the godly people." Mm-hmm. So he called Gideon a very unlikely person, not a seasoned warrior, but he had goodness in his heart. Like all of you listening, I believe you love this country. I believe you love people. You want the best for people. You're not gonna murder and kill and destroy and wreck the country. You're gonna empower your neighborhood. You're gonna empower your family. Conservatives are nice people. They want the best for others. They want to empower people. So what happened was Gideon said, so God brought in 32,000 people. These are people who believed in God because they were godly people with Gideon. So this is where you get the whole Christian perspective. If this country was an evangelical country, if this was a Christian country, like they say that Biden is a Catholic, are you out of your mind? I mean, we'll talk about Biden here in a little bit, but I'll behave myself, so your show will be fine. When you look at this, though, look at the fact. So Gideon was 32,000 men in a split second. Bam, 10,000 left. Oh, you mean I may have to go to war? I'm out. That's called rhinos. 10,000 rhinos left like that. Got down to 22,000. Get Doug.
I seen that firsthand.
Oh yeah.
Me and Bonafide went to one of these meetings, and they questioned everything about the election and how there was fraud in Greenville. And then Presley stood up and he asked them to resign. The next day, they folded like lawn chairs. These people don't have no backs. They've never been questioned about anything they've ever done. They've lied, stealed, and cheated all the way along. And it's not only the Democrats, it's the Republicans too. We got to get these rhinos out of office.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Bonafide were there to see it, not for actually, we had to come back and do the show, but we were for the start of it. But I heard when Presley brought up, "You should resign," all 300 people in the room stood on their feet and started chanting, "Resign, resign." The next day, all 3 of them that were asked to resign, resigned. So that's what we got to do. We got to get out and go to these meetings and question these people. Question everything. And that's right. Where we start. People say, "Where do we start?" That's where you start. Where am I going to start? We went and watched that movie, Big Rigged. I think that's the name of it, about the fraud with General Flynn and Patrick. And I'm going to buy the movie, and I'm going to try to show that everywhere I can to wake up people, because everybody else is waiting for a miracle. And my job's to get out here and fight for this country and get other people involved to fight for it too. It's till my last breath. That's what I got to do. And if it takes a while to build back up the audience, I'm going to find, just like you said, them 400 people that can take and dismantle 4,000. I will find them warriors. I know they're out there. I know there's people willing to fight for our country. They've done it once. They'll do it again. I just know there is. That's where I'm going with things. Deep Rigged is what it's called. Thank you.
Well, your audience is rocking. Your audience is great.
Call them the Froganites, John. They're the Froganites.
Froganites. They're tremendous.
You asked me that night, what does FROG stand for? Fully rely on God.
That was when we did our podcast show from the Bonefish Grill. I did my show, the Bonefish Grill parking lot, right, in Tampa.
Yes, sir. We sure did. We'll get the message out any way we can. That's when I first met you. We all went down there. I never knew how hot and humid it could get, but it was pretty warm down there, but the crowd was even hotter. When you have 10,000 patriots ready to stand up for this country, it was an awesome feeling to be around that many people. And then we went to Spartanburg. It was a smaller event, but it was the same feel. These people were ready to fight for our country. All they need is the leadership and to be shown which direction to go in. They're ready to stand up. These people are ready to do something, John. They're ready. They just need a direction to go in. And that's what we can give them.
That's right. As you know, I founded the We the People Fight Back events. And, for us, it's we the people are fighting back. And then, going back to the Gideon story, 10,000 moved away in a second. And then it was down to now 22,000. And then very quickly, many more left. And eventually got down to just 300. I want you guys to do the math. It's 32,000 down to about 300. It's about 0.01% stood the course of commitment. The original goal was set to go and eliminate the enemy and trust God in the process. So 300 of them, Doug, 300. Now, when they went to war, they never picked up a weapon. What it was it said the sword of the Lord as they blew the trumpets. Like trumpets over your shoulder there in the picture. They never picked up a weapon. All God was searching. I want everyone to listen. And Doug, every event is a huge event because every person there is huge in God's eyes.
Yeah. Well,
so your audience right now, your audience is enormous. Everyone that's on is enormous because they're a chosen champion by God and they're into conservative values. They're listening. And that's why I always say the reason why I'm so sensitive, people are scared because I say very respectfully, I empower and encourage people to realize they're worthy of something. They're valuable. So the famous sword is people think we need to fight them. No, we need to trust the process. Let God strengthen you. And the sword of the Lord is the words, because when you take the word sword and then put the letter S after the word word, you have words. So sword and words are the same. So when you speak, you read, and you debate, and you encourage people, and you empower people. And that's like, Doug, when you come out to our event, at our We the People Fight Back event, people leave. We have a 22-page training program. We have every speaker has a bio that they're picked for a specific area of expertise, and they take notes, and they go home to the local. We just had someone call in today to get a ticket from Connecticut, right? Another one from Connecticut. And, all of you listening, I want you guys, because what happens is, 300 people destroyed. Now, in the story of Gideon, there's 135,000 people that all destroyed themselves, but the 300, Doug, never touched them.
Right.
You see, just like in Texas right now, those baby cowards who wouldn't vote in Texas and got in a plane and said, we're going to run away. We're not going to vote. They got the thing they give in the government, potentially protect you from the virus. I don't want to say the word. And they then tested positive for COVID. So you look at that whole process, but I want to challenge all of you. I want to challenge all of you. Make sure you guys realize you don't have to go to war. You got to build your faith, build your conservative values. God will open up doors no man can open, and get stronger, get stronger. And that's why I appreciate the superfood champion there putting up my website, conservativebusinessjournal.com. And then those of you who are on Telegram, just search me out on the CBJ Real News, CBJ for Conservative Business Journal, CBJ Real News. And that's a place where we're not censored, which is awesome. But, Doug, it's so powerful that all of us have to realize that as conservatives, not Republicans and not Democrats. I mean, rhinos are worse than Democrats because rhino has infiltrated your camp. Liberty Water is awesome. And Bryant's a great guy. I had an opportunity of meeting Bryant down at Spartanburg. He's a great guy.
I love him to death. I'm in touch with him every day. If he doesn't call me, he texts me and he'll just say, "Hey, I'm praying for you today." That's a great feeling to know that somebody actually cares about you every day. Not that other people don't, but I mean, that's just it to me. It's a great feeling. It really is. He's really a nice man.
And that's one thing too. Like when I'm interviewed a lot, people know I've been banned on LinkedIn. I mean, they removed me on LinkedIn because we have about 22 contributors on a Conservative Business Journal, and we publish a lot of writings, a lot of articles. I mean, LinkedIn banned me. Oh, and they banned us about a few articles about abortion, and versus obviously abortion versus pro-life. I mean, every champion born is God's kingdom. So I want everyone listening to realize that that's the reason why when you look at what's going on now in this country, it's communism. It's beyond socialism.
Yes, it definitely communism. Well, you look at all the Democrats that are in charge. They're trying to run every one of their states to governors just like it's a communist country. They're trying to take over. And from the good news, as I've heard, is they've taken away the Michigan governor's powers as far as emergencies.
That's good.
Because she just looks like the devil when you look in her eyes. Let me say this correctly. That's my opinion and my thoughts. I learned that from a lawyer.
Well, let me give you my opinions and thoughts about her eyes, Zuckerberg's eyes, and Dorsey's eyes from Twitter. They don't blink, and they never tear up. So because demonic spirits don't have any emotion.
Well, that's right.
There's a spirit. Like I talk about Biden is beyond dementia. He's right. Demonic.
Yes.
And you heard me say that. And that's where that transgender spirit comes from. It's a spirit. And that's where you have people that actually accept, well, if that's them, it's okay. No, not if there's a 5 or 7-year-old girl in a ladies' room and a guy comes in, it's wrong. I mean, common sense, I've written 20 books, Doug, and one of my books is a quote book. And one of the quotes is, without common sense, your life's a circle of nonsense. I mean, let's just lay this out. I mean, many people imagine if my grandfather heard you stay home, don't work, get paid from the government, and you got guys with wigs on going into girls' bathrooms, and then you don't have to show ID to vote. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense at all. So when you guys hear that, and when you take it to that, I'm a common sense guy. That's why you have to realize the socialism and communism, for all of you listening, it's so important to realize you have to expose that. You have to stand strong. And as you heard me say when we were in Spartanburg at that presentation, in my book, I talk about the ABCs of socialism versus communism. And I talk about the letter F, where communism and socialism finishes God's destiny. It's over. When it comes in, it's over. There's nothing left in your life. That's what's going on. I mean, look at California now. You look at California, Washington, Oregon. You look at the majority of blue states. I mean, there's a battle to destroy the freedoms in America. But once again, an intelligence drop, Constitution, and then the other word that we always talk about, you hear me talk about this, Doug, is the word audits, AUDITS, audits. That's right, Constitution right there. That's the most intelligent thing you can have. All of you that want people go to these stations, would you hear this? You hear that? Did you read this? Did you read this?
Open it.
Did you hear this? There was 9,000 people arrested today and 44 people killed. Great. Does that get you fired up? Great. That's not going to keep you from the sheriff's knocking on your door and understanding what you're going to do in America. Read the Constitution. Read the Second Amendment about the right to bear arms. At our event, our We the People Fight Back event, we have specific people in every area. We have Dr. Linda Lee Tarver coming in from Michigan, an election expert. The integrity of the vote. Realize what I said about voter integrity. They're fighting not to show ID to vote. That's ludicrous. There's no explanation of that. You can't debate that. And then God's moving. If you notice the George Floyd mural, Lightning strikes a cement wall and drops it. Never happened before in America. God's moving. No one had to touch that mural. Dropped it. So, you guys, it's so important for all of you to realize that's what we do here with the Conservative Business Journal, with the CBJ Real News, is give you real news and common sense. Common sense to sit back tonight after this show and say, you know what? I'm going to make a decision to change my words, change my associations, read the Constitution, the right to bear arms. If I'm not practicing Second Amendment, practice Second Amendment, practice freedom of speech, get involved in my local city council, find out who's on the school board, patronize conservative businesses, patronize all of Doug's sponsors, support conservative businesses. That's capitalism. 96% of small businesses in America are 10 employees or less. And when the whole China virus came in, they shut down 110,000 restaurants. Will never open up again in America, Doug. And the word restaurant, as an author and a writer, the word restaurant means to restore relationships.
Right.
So when you have a mask on, sitting alone, watching Zoom, not talking to people, not fellowshipping, the devil starts to get in your mind with doubt and fear. That's all they want to do is
those expressions.
Yeah. Yeah. And as I say, mask, you look like a moron wearing a mask. It just looks, your ears are like this and you're wearing a diaper. It's ridiculous. You laughed so hard in Spartanburg when I say just look at people with masks, you look like a moron. And you were laughing so hard the camera was going like this when I was speaking. You were shaking, Doug.
That's the truth. You had me fired. I knew when Presley come on stage, he says, I hope everybody's ready, because that's how they talk down there now. He's fixing to fire you up.
That's right.
Are y'all ready? Because he's high energy. And you could tell from me holding the camera, he was super high energy. He had people fired up, standing up, screaming. That's the same kind of fire you need to have in your belly and in your heart to fight for this country. Which
Doug, in my book, I talk about that on the letter F. It's on page 109. It says capitalism. Now, remember, people hear capitalism, they think, oh, they're talking about money. No, calm down there. Capital means an asset, something that's capital. Well, the two top assets God gives you is your mind and your heart. Your mind and your heart. That's your capital. God gives you a mind to dream, a mind to envision, and a heart to love and care and believe. That's capital, your mind and your heart. And then when you put that together, then you go put a good day's work in, you work hard, you provide for your family. And I'm a strong Christian believer in tithing. I've written a whole book about tithing and biblical prosperity principles. There's 4 types of giving. And I talk a lot about that, but let's get people fired up about tithing and offerings and seeds and alms and first fruits, or understand the biblical aspects of prosperity. That's why their economy is not our economy. God's economy is different. So,
absolutely.
When you
can't outgive God, right?
Oh, you can't. The problem is most people don't give. And Doug, the book I gave you over the weekend, the 10 life lessons on how to find your why now and achieve ultimate success, I wrote that book 19 years ago. So this book is 19 years ago written. So when everyone goes, oh, Lemme, you just jumped on the whole, that's right. I signed it for you, Doug, right there. And it says dream huge.
That's
right. You guys have huge dreams. And lesson number 3, Doug, is about tithing and giving. Well, you can't outgive. I didn't jump on the Trump train 4 years ago. I didn't jump on loving the flag of the eagle 4 years ago, just as, oh, he just wants to get people in his podcast show and get sponsors. That's what all the haters say. And I always tell them, I'll get back to letter F here in a second, but I'm just being led to say this. All of you know in the that's awesome what Marshall and Vic said. My Italian family came to America in the 1890s through Ellis Island. We value God, our Constitution. And Mark and Vic, you fight every day for them. You stand strong and you proud. See, my family came in 1890. Absolutely. That's why I'm standing strong in America. That's why I stand. And if you my event, you don't take a knee at my event. You take a knee at my event. I'm going to break your knee and get out. It's my event, private property. All my events you come to, tickets are paid for, high-end security, all believe in Second Amendment. It's time we patriots stand up. That's why I get censored, because I speak the truth. Oh, you're supposed to love people. I don't know what Jesus would do. I don't know if Jesus, all I know is Jesus flipped tables over in the Bible. Jesus casted out demons. That's just a fact.
John, can you please get the website out? They're asking for the website.
Oh,
the link is just too long to put in there.
Oh, the website for our website is conservativebusinessjournal.com. businessjournal.com. The same
And
as
one of my moderators type that up, and I can highlight it, please. I think they just did. Thank you,
okay.
Superfood.
Superfoods. You're awesome,
You're on the
Superfood. Thank
job.
you.
Thank you so much. She
And
does.
then also on Telegram, guys. You guys that are on Telegram, just search me out under CBJ Real News. Just CBJ for concern. I'm just started building Telegram. I only have like 1,900, 2,005. Just started because I got whaled everywhere on But when you guys go to my website, definitely submit your email for we send out some great emails and updates. As you know, Doug, you're on my email database. We have great writers and contributors
all the time from John. And
we sent a great letter out to all the Floridians. What was that, Doug?
I said everything you send me, I use it in a daily thing with my life.
I appreciate it.
Bingo, work. They got they got signed up.
Thank you, hey guys, and it's important too. And I always say for all of you listening, I get passionate about it. Is everybody? This is a huge show. Everybody's listening. It could be one person to 20,000. Stand for your values. Stand for conserving and protecting what you stand on. But in the Bible, thank you. Telegram, CBJ Real News. Thank you very much, Superfoods. I appreciate that. And I bust out some good stuff in Telegram. I tell you that. I love Telegram because I'm just sharing it because people are hurting, Doug. They're hurting. Depression, anxiety, fear, drug addiction, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. That's what they're trying to do. The radical left.
Way up. Drug addiction's way up.
Yeah.
People want answers. They want something. And I don't want to give them hope and dreams. I want to give them real viable information they can use every day.
That's right.
To help us get this country back. We haven't lost it yet, folks.
No,
but
we won't. God doesn't look. We won't. Right now we're in a. We're in a kind of the butterfly caterpillar season. I talk about that in the book you have in your hand, Doug. In chapter number 6, it's called The Purpose of Problems. And it's just like when the caterpillar said, how much worse could it get? It became a butterfly. Right now, America is in a caterpillar butterfly. See right there.
I want to show you John's book. I'm not on chapter 6, but I want to show you how his books are. You see that? You read it, and then there's a spot for you to work.
That's right. You got to work.
Right.
You got to work.
I mean, these are workbooks and books. Do you know what I mean? You get more out of things. Let's not forget, in our lifetimes, we've learned to rely on computers and copy and paste. Copy and paste doesn't solidify in your brain. You need to write things down to solidify it in your brain so you remember it. And it's the old school way of doing things. This is why they don't want you to have cursive in school anymore, so you won't be able to read the Declaration of Independence. You wouldn't be able to read things in cursive. Correct?
That's good, Doug. And I'm saying that's good because, every event you see me speak at, I tell them, grab a pen that writes. Or my events, you come to my events because I know you guys will be down here for my event in August. Everyone gets a pen and a workbook. We've got to act. Your number one capital asset is your mind. Work it. Work your mind. Work your mind. Texting and Facebook and warrior chat. Work your mind. And then the next day you wake up, you know what? I feel more empowered. I feel more encouraged. I read the Constitution. I grabbed the whole of one of Lemme's books and I read something and I got encouraged. I got empowered. But back to my quick story about when I talk about people with this, I want to encourage all of you because all of you went through a story, a journey in life. People always go, well, Lemme, you just jumped on a Trump train just 4 years ago. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. So let me just clarify that with the flag and my whole studio, the flag and the cross. And I got flag cufflinks. I just love America. I just love the flag. And that's my wife, Christy, is actually the one that's on my. I just started up another YouTube channel. I don't know how long it's going to last, but
he's behind the scenes telling them.
Yeah. My wife's right there, the producer. I do have a very large Rumble, about 35,000 followers on Rumble, so my Rumble following is very strong. But back to the point, in the Bible, the book of Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, there is. Thank you, Superfoods. That's awesome. And in the book of Proverbs, God uses the word fools all the time. Just read it. Just read it. And, I always tell people going through stuff in life, like today is the 19th day of July. Just take Proverbs and read the 19th chapter. Just start reading the chapter of Proverbs. This is just for somebody tonight, not for everyone. If there's 30,000 replays, Doug, if there's 29,999, this is not for you, but for that one person, you veer from God. Just grab the book of Proverbs. Today's the 19th. Just get back to the word. Just read the book of Proverbs. Just read chapter 19. That's it.
Absolutely.
And then tomorrow read 20. That's all. And you're going to see the word fools in there a lot. God just says, look, common sense, you're a fool. So I convert that, Doug, to the New York Italian. It's called idiots. IDIOTZ, idiots. And I tell all the idiots that say, well, you just jumped on the flag, jumped on this. I'm like, you idiot. This is actually, and we have it here in my studio. My wife and I have been married, what, 17 years this year? We've married 17 years this April. This is actually the groom's cake she made for me. And this is not I always got to tee this up. It's not the real wedding cake, like the big cake.
Right.
You know, this was just a bonus cake for the groom's cake. And you can see it's the actual logo of our company is the eagle.
Wow.
So that's our wedding cake from 17 years ago. So for all the trolls on here tonight, show me your wedding cake from 17 years ago. Is it an eagle with a flag on it?
A patriot.
Is it an eagle with a flag on it? Is that your logo from 17 years ago, Kamala Harris? Is that your logo, Bernie Sanders? Is that your logo, Joe Biden? Bring it. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about today and your past, because your past predicts your future. Someone needs to hear that tonight. I tell people, show me your wedding cake from 17 years ago. This is an eagle. We love this country. You're not AOC. You're not touching, because where my grandparents would live in West Harlem, that's her district. AOC is not stealing that from my grandparents. I get very passionate about it.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is people get so intimidated by Bernie and Kamala and so forth. It is so important to realize that, guys. This is how God fires up in you. God ignites the Gideons. God ignites the Davids. God ignites the Esthers, you know, because there's such a Jezebel spirit in America.
Right.
So that's why it's so important for us conservatives. And I start sweating on here, Doug. I start going. I get it. I just get excited.
Your blood gets up. You have a passion, and the passion comes out. I can tell the passion when I seen you speak, and I was right in front of you. I was 6 feet away, and I was like, wow, I could feel it. I could feel the power.
Because for me, it's an honor to be able to present. I'm not like people go, I want to become. You don't want to become a speaker. You don't want to become. That's not everyone's called to be a speaker. You know, I didn't go to speaking school. Actually, as you read my books, I was born and raised. I was a clinically diagnosed stutterer and a stammerer. I went to New York School for the Deaf for 6 years. I had braces in my teeth for 7 years. So I obviously won't have enough time tonight to share the entire story.
Tell the story, John, about your ears.
Sure.
You told me the story.
Sure. Well, as you hear my accent, I'm born and raised in Yonkers, New York. And I'm speaking faster, Doug, because you're from Massapequa originally, so you can understand. Some podcast shows I have to speak slower. So, but I was born and raised in New York, Yonkers, New York, full-blooded Italian family. Is my dad on tonight? My dad's 92 years young. He's always in all my shows. He gets a little confused from YouTube, so I think he may be watching on tonight on YouTube. But he'll definitely watch the replay, because I'm pulling this, Doug, and this show will go into my podcast platform, and I'm on every podcast platform out there. So we're going to take your show and make it
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. You're
awesome.
I appreciate it, Elaine. And you're an awesome patriot, because you're on listening, taking notes. So I was born and raised Italian family, full-blooded Italian. Every guy's 5'7", 5'8" now at fully height. Right. Wrestling. When I was 4 years of age, we got a zillion cousins, and everyone's fighting and wrestling. And my mom would say, look, if there's no blood, or my aunts would say, like, no blood, don't call us. Just stay in the basement. You know, basement. There's no basements in Florida. You know, stay in the basement in New York. And even there's like a crawl space, like the space under the bottom floor, like just go in there. Just if there's no blood, don't come out. So what they started to notice was about 4 years of age, they noticed I wasn't speaking. And obviously everyone else was speaking. And they ended up taking me to the hospital, Lawrence Hospital, Bronxville, New York. That's where I was born. I was born in 1965. This is 1969. I'll be 56 years young this year. And everyone's young. My dad's 92 years young. Everyone's young. Everyone's young. Everyone's young in God's eyes. So they took me to the hospital, and they put the big headphones on, kind of like the ones you have on tonight, Doug, for the podcast, like that. And for 30 minutes, they said, every time you hear a whistling sound, tap on a table. So after 30 minutes, they came out, and they identified that I heard just fine. I had a speech impediment. So at that point, two doctors identified me as a speech impediment. They put me into special reading class. They put me into New York School for the Deaf. I went there for 6 years for breathing and reading classes. And then I went to psychologist for 8 years. I was the first one in my family to get a college degree. I went to college. I got a minor in psychology because I felt worse leaving a psychologist. And I graduated college, #2 business student. And I couldn't even say my name publicly. I was totally full of fear.
Right.
And then at the age 24, you'll appreciate this, at the age 24, because my family was born and raised in the art business. You see, we have a lot of frames, a lot of quotes. I believe I gave you a frame also and a quote, and you have all those frame quotes from us. So my family's very involved in the art business, framing business. So graduated college, I went right back in the art gallery business. And about a year and a half in, I'm like, I got this college degree. I'm supposed to be this degree. I got a double major in management and marketing. And then I also had a you love this, Doug. I had a full scholarship for my master's in business to LIU, to Long Island University out of Hofstra.
All right.
But I chose not to get my master's degree. I went back to work with my family. So I answered an ad, and the ad said, make $10,000 a month, wear tailor-made clothes, drive Mercedes-Benz. It was a network marketing ad in 1990.
Right.
And I went out to the event. It was March 15th, 1990. And I went to the Rytown Hilton in Westchester County at 7:35. My life changed forever. The young lady said, even if you choose not to get involved in this business tonight, if you have a goal you want to achieve, then read this book. Now, I graduated school, but I want everyone to realize this. Most of you stop reading after you stop testing. Hello. What happens is you usually read to take, I can read. Well, you read to take a test. You don't read to learn. You see, that's a very powerful statement. So I can read, but once I graduated college, I stopped reading. My mind just you start getting all negativity constantly. And that's without any internet, social media stuff. So I went to the event. I ended up reading the book, Think and Grow Rich, which I agree with 90% of the book now, 10% is wacky. But that book got me to start thinking differently. And I started to develop my mind. Well, after 6 years, I did very well in direct selling, network marketing. And more importantly, I conquered and overcame my fear of speaking and communicating. And ever since that day now, it's now the year 2021, I do an hour to 2 hours every day of silent reading, of taking notes. People go, how do you write 20 books, John? One word at a time. But I've been doing it consistently. And all my books, we love America. We love our family. We love our freedom. And one of my books I wrote 15 years ago was pro-life. So all the idiots go, you just jumped in a pro-life thing 4 years ago. I'm like, you're a real idiot. If you look at the book, Champions are Born, Losers are Made, I wrote about being born a champion. That's why at every event, it's a serious responsibility. This is an event to me. There are people listening tonight that this show can transform their belief and conserve their values. And the most intelligent drop you can have tonight is God birthed you a champion. Today is day one. You are born in America. We have the Constitution. We have the ability for great education, great law enforcement, phenomenal military. And we have the opportunity to expose frauds and expose liars, which we're now doing through the audits. So that's kind of my story.
That's an awesome story. And the reason because she shared that with me at the event, because when he came off the stage, I went, where did you go to school to learn how to speak? And he told me that story and my mouth was hanging open. That goes to show you that God can get people that you would never believe and put them in positions you would never believe, just like he did with Mike Lindell, sort of like he's using me. I'm dyslexic. I can't spell. I read poorly, but he's put me in a position to communicate with other people and help lift other people up. That is so strong, you know?
No, Doug, that's right. I mean, all of you listening, God is raising up the Gideons. Gideon, David, in the Bible, everyone that was called didn't look like they were called. See, the days of politicians are over, Doug. I want everyone to realize that. That's why Trump came in as a disruptor. He came in as an outsider who just loved America and loved what it stood for, to make America great again. And my wife and I had an opportunity of meeting President Trump and spending about 8 minutes with him one-on-one. This is a picture of President Trump and my wife, Christy.
Absolutely. That's great. That's awesome.
And that was with our boy Pressy Stutz. That's another whole story in and of itself, how that came about. And that wasn't a fundraiser. We didn't write a check for like 50 grand to be around him. It was grassroots activists who were really out there putting their neck out for this country. And let me tell you something. President Trump loves his country. He loves each and every one of you. There were some decisions he made, because he's not God. He's a human being. He made decisions in this process because he had people he trusted that were really deep state once again. I mean, how deep the state is so deep. I mean, look at Pence, look at Barr, look at 90% of the rhinos. But God's moving. I mean, God is searching for the Gideons. Guys, let that sink in. So we as conservatives, that's when we founded the Conservative Business Journal. We founded it, Doug, once again for 17 reasons, and I want to go through them pretty quickly. Number one, I want you guys to and then those of you interested in getting this report, you guys can get a hold of Doug. I have it, or you can see it on my website. We have it there. It says, here are the 17 reasons conservative values, rights, and freedoms why we founded the Conservative Business Journal, and fight daily for the future of America. Number one, the United States Constitution, it's the law of our land. The First Amendment, the freedom of speech. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And everyone is looking for all these, they're looking for all these intelligent drops. Those three reasons right there, those are the most important intelligent drops you could ever have in your life.
For you guys.
Right to bear arms, freedom of speech. And number four, the right to vote in a fair and free election, election integrity. Number five, support and respect for law enforcement, back the blue. Number six, pro-life, give a voice to the unborn that have a right to live. It's so powerful, give a voice to them. Number seven, religious liberty, protect the Judeo-Christian beliefs that America was founded on. Number eight, stand with Israel and protect the nation from foreign enemies. Number nine, support capitalism and free enterprise, stand against communism and socialism. Education, number 10, education for all children free from radical left indoctrination, such as the 1619 Project. Always stand for the American flag and our national anthem. Oh, absolutely. You want to get me wound up? Take a knee for that flag. You take a knee in front of me. I will. That just gets on my 19th nerve, man. Number 12, support the United States military and veterans that fought for our freedom. Absolutely. Number 13, America First policies that put our country and citizens before foreign nations. Number 14, strong foreign policy that makes America the most powerful nation in the world. Number 15, freedom of the press for all journalists based on truth, no censorship. Number 16, legal immigration and keeping our borders safe, build a wall. Last but not least, we the people control America with limited government interference. These 17 values, those are 17 intelligence drops for you. And I tell you, one of the most important ones right here, why we get so fired up, is number 4, the right to vote in a fair and free election. My wife, Christy, who's the executive producer here, you met my wife, Christy, numerous times. Doug, she loves you. She's awesome. Christy, shout out to Doug.
Hi, Doug.
She's back there connecting away. She's in the chat tonight, commenting, posting, all that good stuff. And her family's from Tennessee. My mother-in-law, Debbie's from Tennessee. My stepdad, David, are from Tennessee. And they voted for the first time in their life for Trump in 2020. So my family voted. And, you know, their vote, all of you that are listening, that's why I've not moved on. We have to expose the challenges right now with the process of voting. We have to, you're never going to have a 22 or 24 unless we identify the root cause of 20. So what happens is one vote stolen is one too many. Let's say the first time I met you, Doug, we were at Bonefish Grill. We're there with Brad, Bonafide, you, my wife, Patriot Mike, you know, all the guys were there. We had about 12 people there that night. Yeah. So let's say all 12 of us eating. The bill comes. We go outside, and you go out in the van with Bonafide. We go in our car, and a Pressy goes in his car, and he's also we realize, wait a minute. I don't want to mention someone's name, but let's just say so and so lost their wallet. Oh, let's go inside. Everybody's like, it's no big deal. It's only one wallet. It's just one. No, it's your wallet. It's your valuable to you. It's like your vote is the most valuable asset as an American. The most valuable asset we have is our vote. Everyone if you quote something from me tonight, that's a huge quote, because that is why we are the final standing lighthouse in this world. We are the only country with legitimate voting process that we're going to recreate in this country and get it back. You look at Venezuela. I mean, look at France right now. As of August 1st, if you don't get their government-assisted health scenario, you can't shop without the V word.
That's crazy.
Then Canada is pure communism, but America has the Constitution. Some of you guys get so whacked out to the radical right with all these conspiracy stuff. You've got to take these 17 values and say, what are you doing locally in your community to be a voice for conservative values? Do you know who's on your city council? Do you stand up for your local school board where the kids are wearing a mask? Are you protecting yourself? Are you bearing arms, the right to bear arms? Do you have freedom of speech? Are you speaking your values? Are you working hard? Are you developing a business? Are you working 1, 2, 3 jobs to provide for your family? Are you a tither? Are you going to church? Are you an outwardly going conservative Judeo-Christian person? Once again, this show maybe watch, Doug, some of your shows by 30, 40, 50,000 replays.
Right.
It could be 49,999. The show's not for. It's for that one. Because look at Roe versus Wade. If you don't think one person can make a difference, look at Roe versus Wade. Look what that person did. Wow. I get wound up.
And that's something I say on every show when I get ready to close. Not that we're getting ready to close.
Okay, good.
If I just help one person understand more about what's going on, I feel like I've done my job tonight. I say that every show.
That's right.
And then I say because God would want us to come together because 1 and 1's 11. And can you imagine the power of our Frogonites in the chat and the power that we have as when we come together is unbelievable.
Well, one of my favorite scriptures, Doug, is in a Jewish law, the book of Deuteronomy. Is Deuteronomy 1:11. Just those guys listening, go to Deuteronomy 1:11, the Jewish law. It's huge. God will literally prosper you 1,000 times with the right people. Prosper you means people go, oh, they're not talking about money. So chill out. Prosperity means, in the old Greek, means the ability to be in the flow of life, meaning healthy, happy, joyful. And then when you're healthy, happy, and joyful, then you're going to prosper. Then you're going to work a great job, start a business, launch a business, maybe get involved with the businesses that Doug promotes. I mean, things are going to happen. I mean, that's how you prosper. And
I wanted to show our listeners, this is what John gave me, this card right here.
The heart of a champion beats to a different drum.
And that's right. And I keep it right where I can see it every day and read it. It just think about what it says, guys and girls. Be a champion in your own heart every day. Are you doing what you can do? Or are you staring at the boob tube that's not giving you any answers? It's just brainwashing you. Come up with your own answers, your own assumptions, research stuff, find out what's going on. Can you actually say, well, I can tell you how our city council voted on this for the last 3 years? No, you can't. Most of you have never been to a city council meeting. Most of you don't even know who sits on the city council in your own towns. But people want to complain about what's going on because people are not involved. I'm not saying you have to do it every day, but go and find out who is running your city, who's in charge of the school board. Start getting involved at some level. And this is the first place I heard it was from your friend that you're getting ready to interview, General Flynn. This is how we get back America.
I tell you, Doug, I gotta give a shout out to Jan Pennington. I love her. Jan Pennington said, "My first time hearing John. I love him already. Thank you, Doug, for having him on your show." Jan, you're awesome.
Much, Jan. I appreciate
it. And I appreciate that because I'm not for everyone, Doug. You know that. And I was, I'm a very strong believer in people. And I'm a very strong believer in people of integrity. And I believe that we in this country have to get back to it.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish. I appreciate that. People go, John, give me an intelligent drop. Let me tell you what it is. You are a born champion from God with great values, and you love America. And what you do is build local. You have an opportunity of tomorrow when you wake up and you put. Like I said this in Spartanburg. As soon as your foot goes on the ground out of bed, the devil goes, uh-oh.
That's it.
They're alive again. And they're going to make a difference. Talk about today's day one, expectation, and start to really get a little more public about how much you love law enforcement. Get a little more patriotic in what you wear. Let people know you love America. I mean, across the back of my car, it says here in Florida, it says Trump 2020, make America, keep America great. I mean, it's huge. So it's so important, guys.
So, John, tell us about this big event you got coming up down in Florida, in Naples, Florida. I'm trying to figure out what airport to fly into. I guess Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
And I'll see if there's a tram running back and forth to Naples.
Yeah, no, it's only about 20 minutes. You see what, Doug, what I saw was I was out there speaking, going to all these big events with this 5,000, 1,000, 10,000 people. I said, I want to put together a 2-day event called We the People Fight Back, a very high-end event. And what we do is we put together some of the greatest speakers, all experts in different fields. And our event is Naples, Florida, August 20th to August 21st. And what I'm proud to say, we have 21 speakers, and people go, well, what's the big name speaker? Everyone's a big name speaker. And one of the greatest speakers is this young lady, Rebecca Friedrichs, who spoke for President Trump at the Republican National Convention, where she just hit the world when she's the one that sued the school unions in California and won. And she wrote a book called Standing Up to Goliath. Rebecca Friedrichs will be live at a We the People Fight Back event. We have Dr. Linda Lee Tarver coming in on election integrity expert. And she's the one that exposed all of Detroit, Michigan. She is awesome. She's a Sunday school teacher who is involved as a Republican poll watcher and election integrity, and just hit the mainstream, and she said, look, there's tons of fraud going on in Michigan. And then we got Frank Valentine, who was born Muslim. You're going to love meeting him, Doug. Born Muslim and accepted Christ only like a month ago, baptized, came to America many years ago, became a legal immigrant, a legal citizen, and he founded firearmsofamerica.org. Unbelievable. He was born in a little country next to Pakistan. It's an unbelievable story. And then we got Presley Stutz coming in from South Carolina, Eric Corcoran, who you met. We got Dr. Olga Ravisi. She founded Serbians for Trump. She's been on my show numerous times, and all of these speakers have been on my show. And she's very involved in exposing the Clintons, all in the Balkans, over in Serbia, Yugoslavia. So it's going to be a powerful event. Alfie Oakes, all of you know Alfie Oakes from Seated Table. Then we got Frank Deverano, who served 2 years in Cuba as a prisoner of war under Castro. And he's written 28 books on communism. He's brilliant. And then Sabine and Maureen. Sabine spoke for Trump in 2016 as a leading, which is a sad fact to say, a leading angel mom. Her son Dom was killed by an illegal alien. And her and Maureen Maloney coming in. Sabine's from Arkansas. Maureen's from Massachusetts. She's another angel mom. And then we got Sophia and Michelle, who founded Jexit, Jews Exiting Democratic Party. And then we got Captain Wayne Smith. You're going to love him. 5 years, 2 months as a Vietnam vet, prisoner of war in the Hanoi Hilton. Unbelievable story. And then we got Christy McLaughlin. She's the youngest. She was the youngest candidate for Congress in Florida and in America. And she's got a 103-year young grandmother that's from Cuba. The whole family's from Cuba, and it's an unbelievable story. And she runs a Constitution Warriors. And then we got Keith and Dominique from Florida Citizens Alliance. They've exposed all of the horrific education in Florida. And what's exciting about our events, Doug, you're going to love our food, 5-star food. We include gourmet lunch, phenomenal food. We include a 20+ page workbook, so you're not scattered all over the place. You get in, and on the way in, you guys get a welcome bag with some patriotic gifts. I know once again we'll probably be giving the Constitution out again as a gift, and then everybody gets a set schedule, and every person has a bio, and then you take notes. And you guys go home empowered. We have people already coming in from 19 different states. We just had someone call in today, and the investment's only $247 for a ticket. It's a complete joke. I mean, the food alone is worth it. It's not 10,000 people. You interact with all the speakers. You get to meet all the speakers.
Absolutely.
And it's just an exciting time. What we're known for, we have a phenomenal selfie table. We'll have, right, Christy, we have some of the greatest pictures taken. We have some of the greatest entertainers at our VIP dinner. So we got some great sponsors for the event. So it's going to be, we got Julio Martinez, who's actually running for mayor now in Hialeah. He's been in America. He's like the Italian godfather for the Cuban world, right? Julio, he'll be speaking at the event. He's a great guy. So that's our event.
Liberty Water. Thank you for ordering Liberty Water.
And the website is WeThePeopleFightBack.com. WeThePeopleFightBackEvent.com. 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 And you guys also follow me on Telegram. You'll see it on there. So when I get so fired up about that, because Doug, we get one person to feel encouraged and empowered. Like I had one woman calling today. She saw me speak at an event. She goes, John moved me so much. And it was the first time I took notes, and I learned. I can't imagine being in a room for 2 hours, 2 days, learning and inspired. And we have our set breaks. Our events start 10 a.m. They go to 6 p.m. It's at the beautiful Naples Hilton. It's totally secure. We have great security. We have great sponsors. It's just an awesome event. It's great people coming in from all around the country already.
It sounds like I can't wait to get down there and see you guys. Get everybody back together. I got a little thing I got to do at the first of the month, but I'm about to book my tickets down there next.
Excellent.
And I will be there. Bring some T-shirts. Talk to some people. Hug some. Take some pictures. I'm all in it. Bonafide, I know, is going to be down there. I'm pretty sure Brad will be there. The big things, and don't forget, guys, Brad's event. I don't have the information right on me, but we'll have that on tomorrow night's show, September 11th. He's going to throw the biggest Patriot event ever. There'll be more information on tomorrow night's show about Brad's event. And then we're going to start promoting again some more Clay's events. Big things are coming for the Frog News Network. Keep following this man right here, John. So with that being said, I'm going to wind things down a little bit. Look, it's always like it always is, folks. If we just help one person tonight understand a little bit more about what we're doing out here, I feel like we've done our jobs. When we come together, that's what God wants us to do, because we're more powerful when we come together in agreement, and we can conquer this enemy right here today. So with that, I'm going to say a little prayer, and we're going to go out with that, John.
Go right ahead.
Lord, thank you for blessing us and having John on our show. Keep all our Frogonites safe. Keep the show safe. Keep me safe. I pray for all the people that are in charge of this country. I pray for our border patrol. I pray for our police officers. I pray for everybody that's in charge in this country, God. And we know who's really in charge. You are. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Well, brother, I thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to coming on your show next.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah, everybody says they love your energy. I told you guys would. He's awesome, man. If you're looking for intel drops, we just gave you a bunch. If you're looking for the bubblegum intel, that's not on the channel anymore. You're going to get real ways on how to save the country.
It's so important. These people get so wound up on this wacky stuff, those 17 values. And that's why even we had someone today that wanted to speak at our event, right, Christine? Someone said to give out the site again. It's We the People Fight Back event.com, and Frog News Network will be there live. Doug, you're going to meet all these. You're going to lose your mind with these speakers. You're going to be booked out of your news network. You're going to have all of them. I guarantee you're going to lose your mind at our event. You're going to be like, these people are, because they're active and they're all in patriots. Is the biggest intelligence drop is stick to the core fundamentals. Don't move away from don't get veered off on crazy stuff. Just stay strong. Audits, the right judge, the right numbers, you move forward. And that's why We the People Fight Back. We have to have like-minded patriots who are all in long-term. I had because people listening, then it doesn't happen that day and they all freak out. It is so important just to stay strong. And thank you for all the reviews. I see it all popping up. I appreciate you guys.
Man, I love you guys. Are so good. The people that have come back to the show, when they found out that, hopes and dreams don't get you where, and true answers can really help. We love you guys, and I appreciate you guys being here. And as we grow this army of soldiers, it's only going to get bigger and better and stronger from here, guys.
And Doug, you have to realize the way God works, I only know you. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything. I met you that night at the Brad's event in Tampa in the parking lot. I don't know anything but you and the Frog News Network and your heart. So I don't even know, I have no clue what you're talking about, really.
So here's the bottom line, guys, is God loves the truth.
That's right.
I tell the truth. The truth will set you free. When you're not telling the truth, it's hard to remember what you told somebody. My story never changes. I tell the truth. That's where I'm at, and that's
New York.
Bottom line, as they say in the business.
Because in New York, if you don't tell the truth, you're hanging from the bottom of the Throgs Neck Bridge there in the Bronx. It's over.
Another frog thing.
That's right. That's right. You're awesome, my man. I appreciate it.
Really rely on God. Tell your wife I said thank you, and we'll see you guys. Stick your head in here and say hi to everybody.
Pop your head in. Oh, she said she's going back and forth to everybody. And once again, guys, if somebody asked about my Telegram, once again, it's CBJ Real News. CBJ Real News. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much.
All right, guys. Good night. Thanks, John. We love you. We'll talk to you.